Imagine two people. Both are 30 years old. Both earn roughly the same salary. Both work hard. Both dream about becoming financially free. Fast forward 10 years. One person has built serious wealth, owns investments, has multiple income streams, and feels financially secure. The other is still stressed about money, living paycheck to paycheck, and wondering where all those years went. Here's the strange part. The difference wasn't intelligence. It wasn't luck, and it definitely wasn't working harder. The difference came from a few invisible decisions that most people never notice. Because the biggest truth about building wealth in your 30s is something nobody talks about. Most people think wealth is built with money, but wealth is actually built with behavior. And if you're in your 30s right now, what I'm about to share could completely change the direction of your financial future.
When we're teenagers, we think wealth comes from getting a good job. When we're in our 20s, we think wealth comes from earning more money. Then we reach our 30s, and suddenly life gets expensive. Rent or home loans, family responsibilities, children, insurance, bills, medical expenses, social expectations, and somewhere along the way, many people quietly accept a dangerous belief. I'll focus on building wealth later. Maybe after the promotion. Maybe after the next raise. Maybe after buying the house. Maybe after things become more stable. But here's the problem. Life rarely becomes more stable. As income rises, expenses often rise too. Psychologists call this lifestyle inflation. It's like running on a treadmill that keeps speeding up. You feel like you're moving forward, but financially, you're staying in the same place. Many people in their 30s are earning more money than they ever have before. Yet they're not building wealth. Because earning money and building wealth are not the same thing. And this is the first truth nobody warned you about.
Let's think about wealth like planting a tree. Most people focus on the fruit, the expensive car, the dream house, the luxury vacation, the visible signs of success. But real wealth comes from growing the roots first. And roots grow underground. Nobody sees them. Nobody applauds them. Nobody posts them on social media.
Investments are roots. Savings are roots. Skills are roots. Good financial habits are roots. The problem is that human psychology naturally wants immediate rewards. We love instant gratification. We enjoy spending today much more than saving for 10 years from now. Our brain evolved to prioritize short-term survival, not long-term investing. That's why buying something today feels exciting, but investing that same money often feels boring. Imagine you receive a salary increase of $20,000 per month. Most people immediately think about upgrading their lifestyle. A better phone, a bigger apartment, a nicer car, more dining out. Nothing wrong with those things. But here's what wealthy people often do differently. Instead of spending the entire increase, they redirect a large portion into assets. They buy pieces of businesses through stocks. They invest in index funds. They build ownership.
Over time, those assets begin working even while they're sleeping. That's when money starts generating more money. And that's where real wealth begins. Now let's talk about a mistake that traps millions of people during their 30s. The income trap. Most people believe their salary is their greatest financial asset. But a salary is not an asset. A salary is a tool. Think about it. The moment you stop working, the salary stops too. A true asset continues producing value even when you're not actively working. Imagine carrying water every day using buckets. That's what relying entirely on salary looks like. Now imagine building a pipeline. It takes effort initially, but once it's built, water keeps flowing. Investments are pipelines. Businesses are pipelines. Royalties are pipelines. Digital assets are pipelines. Your 30s are often the best decade to build those pipelines because you still have something extremely valuable: time. And time is the secret ingredient nobody appreciates enough. Let's compare two people. Person A starts investing at age 30. Person B starts investing at age 40. Both invest the same amount every month. The difference? Person A gave money an extra decade to grow. That extra decade can create a massive gap in final wealth.
Now, here's the deeper truth. Building wealth in your 30s is not really about money. It's about identity. Most people ask, what should I invest in? But a better question is, what kind of person am I becoming? Because financial success usually follows financial identity. If someone identifies as a spender, they'll find reasons to spend. If someone identifies as an investor, they'll naturally look for opportunities to own assets. Small actions reinforce identity. Every month you invest, you're voting for the identity of a wealth builder. Every time you choose long-term growth over short-term pleasure, you're strengthening that identity. And that's powerful. Because habits become automatic. Automatic behavior becomes lifestyle. Lifestyle becomes financial destiny. The wealthiest people aren't constantly relying on motivation. They rely on systems. They automate investments. They automate savings. They remove emotion from important financial decisions. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't need motivation every morning. It's a habit. The goal is to make wealth building feel exactly the same. Automatic, predictable, consistent. Another truth nobody warned you about is this: your social environment matters more than you think. If everyone around you is constantly spending money to look successful, you'll feel pressure to do the same. Humans naturally imitate the people around them. Psychologists call this social proof. We subconsciously assume the crowd must be correct. But financially, the crowd is often wrong. Many people look wealthy. Far fewer people actually are wealthy. There's a huge difference. Looking rich costs money. Being wealthy creates money. And confusing those two things can delay financial freedom for decades. So, what should someone in their 30s actually focus on? First, increase the gap between what you earn and what you spend. This gap is the fuel that builds wealth. Without it, investing becomes difficult. Second, prioritize asset ownership. Instead of asking, what can I buy? Start asking, what can I own? That simple shift changes everything. Third, automate investing. Don't depend on willpower. Create systems that invest before you have the chance to spend. Fourth, avoid lifestyle inflation. Every income increase doesn't need to become a lifestyle increase. Let your assets grow alongside your income. Fifth, think in decades, not months. Most people dramatically overestimate what can happen in 1 year and dramatically underestimate what can happen in 10 years. Wealth is usually built slowly, then suddenly. The people who understand this stay patient long enough to see extraordinary results. Here's the truth about building wealth in your 30s that nobody warned you about. The biggest risk isn't choosing the wrong investment. The biggest risk is waiting. Waiting for the perfect salary. Waiting for the perfect opportunity. Waiting for life to become easier. Because while you're waiting, time keeps moving. And time is the one asset you can never earn back. 10 years from now, you'll either be grateful that you started today, or you'll wish you had.
The choice is happening right now, in the small decisions nobody sees. Not in one giant financial move, not in one lucky break, but in the quiet habits repeated over and over again. Because wealth isn't built in a moment. It's built in thousands of ordinary decisions. And the people who understand that are usually the ones who end up financially free. If you enjoyed this video and want more simple explanations about money psychology, investing, and wealth building, subscribe to the Asset Avenue Club. Because the goal isn't just to make more money. The goal is to build a life where money works for you.